Hello, 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 and welcome to another Saturday Night Shadow Whispers in the Night. I was checking to see if I was on mute because normally I'm on mute. Can you hear me okay, May?
I can hear you perfectly, Jenny. How is everybody tonight?
I'm very quiet, May. I thought you couldn't hear me, and I said, Jesus, May is letting me talk.
I have no way of stopping you talking. For anyone out there, Jenny is a talker, and I usually just sit back and I kind of listen. And we had this conversation last night. We have to talk about this, Jenny. We had this conversation last night.
You did. Oh my God! And every time you do talk, I always have.
She must have been talking about probably 4.5 to 5 hours without taking a breath.
No, we know.
Anyhow, we came to the conclusion that next time we get talking, I get a chance to talk and she listens. But, however, go on ahead, Jenny. You're better at it than me.
Huh? What are you saying, May? And last night we were talking, and I had so much things to say. So I always have pen and paper, and I write down everything. I'm laughing at Pam by saying Jenny is a talker. Not really. What? Very quick. Listen. Believe me. Quick shout out here to a few guys here. Nigel Porter, how are you doing?
I know.
Well. My darling Chantel. I mailed you yesterday, Chantel, but I probably was in my sleep. Because me and Chantel mail each other especially Chantel, she sleep talks, messages me. Sorry, Chantel, what to do. Nigel, how are you? We're doing good. Pamela, lovely to see you here. Pamela is always here. Love to see you here. Hope you are well. We have my darling daughter who's upstairs. Elsa, hello.
Hi, Elsa. Pet, how are you?
Nicola, how are you? Glad you're here. Hope you are well. And we have Pamela. Jenny is a talker.
I told you.
Sometimes. And Chantel hasn't done that in ages. So we have a fantastic guest on tonight. I am delighted to have her on tonight. And I know everybody has been waiting. She is a good witch and a psychic medium as well, which I want to know all about that. So I'm going to bring out
Jenny. She's Hollywood's good witch.
Yes, I know. And I've been waiting for we can see her. We're waiting for a long time.
And she's a good friend of mine.
She is. I'm going to talk all about the tour in Ireland as well. We're going to bring her in. Welcome tonight to our fantastic guest, Mrs. Patti Negri.
Hi, ladies.
Hello, sweetheart. How are you?
I am so good. What a beautiful surprise. I am so happy to be here, to meet you, Jen, and to see you, one of my favorite people in the world, May.
Patti, I love you to bits.
To bits.
Yeah. We said, let's surprise Patti tonight. And I did say to Patti, I said, well, I have a little surprise for you. I have a wee surprise for you, and who is it? And I just kept saying them. It didn't say he or she, just them. And it's herself, this one who never talks. I tell you, I was watching through one of our videos, May, in October when we were in Glendalough. And at the end of the tour, at the end of the video, because I did a live, was very funny, very funny. Yeah. I looked over it a few times. It was very funny. I was your water carrier. I would love some water, Jenny. I have a fresh bottle in the bag for you. Oh, Jesus. What did I say? What did you say? Oh, bless your heart. Oh, bless you. God bless you, Jenny. God bless you.
God bless you. Yeah, God bless you. That's a state of mind.
Very funny. Chris, well, are you on tonight, Chris? You have a show on tonight, don't you? Oh, yeah, Chris has a show on tonight. Fantastic show. So, Patti, tell us. Now, I know a lot of people know about you, but for the ones who don't, which they should, and if you don't, why don't you?
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'm Patti. I'm a psychic medium. I have been talking to spirits since I could talk. Before school age, I just knew those spirits were not imaginary friends. They were real spirits I could talk to. I literally did my first seance when I was 7 or 8 years old. That's one of the things I'm known for, my seances. I just went in my little suburban Los Angeles home and, stuffed towels under the doors and conjured my first spirits. And that's just what I do. I do live in Hollywood. I'm literally under the H of the Hollywood sign. And yes, the city has been in flames. Last week I was evacuated. They got that close to my house, but luckily knocked good.
Yes.
And home was saved, because I am not good at getting an evacuation order and then how do you pack your whole life in a few minutes. All I worried about was the dog and the cat and dog toys and cat toys and food. Nothing else other than that. So it's good I didn't lose my home. But no, so because I'm in the middle of the Hollywood and this is what I do, and I've been in the entertainment business forever, I've been appearing on the TV show Ghost Adventures since 2015, basically 2 episodes a year for the last 9 years. I got a couple we've just shot coming up whenever they start the new season, and I do everybody else's show who's here. When you're sitting in the middle of the Hollywood and you're legit and you're there, so work with everybody. It's fun. I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I get to travel the world meeting people like you guys.
Yeah, I actually got the chance to spend 9 days with Patti.
You did.
Amazing. Yes, in your beautiful country.
Yeah, we had a great time.
It is a fantastic country. And I remember when I was younger, and I was young, and I kind of didn't like Ireland. I thought we were a small, small country. And now I'd probably go to war for it. I love it. I love it. I promote it. We promote it. I love bringing people over from America or the UK. And I love nothing more than to kind of bring them around to fantastic locations that I investigate, such as Leap Castle. Favorite place. Cannot wait to go back in March. I have a busy few months coming up. May's working me to the bone. Anthony. She is just a little bit, but I love it. And then plus my own team. But I have to ask you a question, Patti. Does Jack Bacon's really run?
Does he really? He is an angel. People say such things about him. He's 120% committed. He's like, if you see a child playing, like an 8 or 10-year-old child, and you're completely in it, he is in it. That's why they're in like their 900th season and 1200th year, because it's legitimate. There is, again, people say such a cruel, and it's like, I never know where I'm going. I never know the history of a place. I'm always scared to death. I was like, oh my God, what if I walk in and I get crickets? I get nothing. If I do know a location we're going to, like it's a place I sent them or something, he won't have me go in and reenact anything. I'll just stand outside and talk about it. He just wants authenticity so much. But yeah, he does. He's in it like 110%. So we run, we scream, we yell, we excite. It's they're the best of friends, the crew, the guys, and it's always an adventure. I love it. Yeah.
You're on mute, Jenny.
Again, I'm mute. Well, I just I have a flower pot here somewhere saying, Jenny, you're on mute. I've watched Ghost Adventures all the time. I've loved it. And I think I've been doing it for many years, but I have seen a lot on the show as well, and I do love it. But I do find it funny when he gets Aaron to go into the room first, because I do that as well with my team. Just go in there and have a little look around. You know what? I just wait out here and wait for you to come back out and tell me it's okay to go in. There you go.
Exactly. That's what you're for, right?
Yeah, Jacqueline's good. Jacqueline's good for it. Jacqueline doesn't mind it. Pamela's saying here very quickly, welcome, Patti. Have had several near misses meeting you here in the Midwest. We have Liz.
I'm in the Midwest.
Yeah,
I'm in the Midwest a lot. I've got a pretty good travel season coming up this year. So maybe this year we won't miss.
Patti, you need to be where I am. I think I'm probably in the Midwest. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm in the South, Kentucky, Northern Kentucky.
Don't ask me. I skipped all those classes in school. I picked up and I have no idea where I am most of the time.
Yeah, I don't know what is regarded as the Midwest in America, but however, look, we'll get together at some stage.
Yes, we will.
So, Patti, when you were saying you did your first seance when you were 6 years of age, what was it like?
I was always obsessed with the dead, but it was never dark or morbid. It just wasn't. I just knew they had a lot to say. And I think I have a lot born in me, both on the witchy side. I'd find myself in my little again, suburban Los Angeles backyard, picking rosemary and picking mint and putting it in my mom's wallet and knowing what to do with it that would bring her this or bring her that or bring her money, just in me. And the same thing with the seance. I don't even know if I knew the word seance, but I knew if I created a circle and I did something to lift the veil, not even knowing what the veil was, it would open a doorway. So it was amazing. I was with my very best friend from birth, Sherry Jones, and we went in there, and I'm like, oh, I realized I didn't know any dead people. And I'm like, Marilyn Monroe and John Kennedy, everybody way back when that I knew was dead, that you knew at 7 years old. And I came up with my first chant or prayer or whatever that was. And all of a sudden, my dark, windowless, lightless room filled with orbs and shadows and sounds. And we're screaming and running out the door and jumping up and down at the same time, going, this is real and this is controllable. Since then, I believe this is our realm of existence. This is our realm. This gravity-ridden, corporeal, three-dimensional world is ours, and they can come and go and we can control it. And I've lived by that my entire life, and it's been true.
And would you, if you, I know actually I was reading earlier on that you put, is it rosemary into your mum's wallet for money?
Yes, it worked.
I'm looking for rosemary.
She didn't get it. She didn't like, what are you doing? It's like, no, this is money. It's not money. It's plants. No, it's money.
I'm going to try it. I mean, I have money underneath the Buddha, so I never run out of money. Kind of did one day and I had to borrow it from underneath him. So that's why.
Okay. There's a lot of really great money spells. Like, well, you guys don't use dollars, but we have dollars. 9 $1 bills in your refrigerator. You could do it with something else. You'll always have cold, hard cash. It's like literal and figurative and mind over matter things. Cold, hard cash. Don't put it in the freezer because that freezes it out. Put it in the refrigerator. There's a lot of great things.
Jenny, just to let the listeners know, Patti has a school.
I do.
She teaches a lot.
I have, it's called University Magicus. I think we're maybe in our 5th year. I have about 20 teachers now all over the world, all different magical paths. I teach psychic development, mediumship development, past lives, shadow work. I have teachers teaching Brazilian magic and this kind of a thing, and paranormal investigators like Stefan Brigatti teaching paranormal work. And again, it's very open. All positive belief systems are welcome. I won't even let my teacher say this is the truth. No, you see, this is a truth. This is my truth. So we can't be all culty or anything. It's just you pick and choose what works for you.
So we'll put that into the link here. We'll put it into the messages, the comments here.
Magicus.com. And it is crazy affordable. When we started it, I would look at these people or celebrities. It's like charging thousands and thousands of dollars for a mediumship course. And I go, I couldn't have afforded that. So my classes, again, I don't know your money, but 10 to 20 US dollars for a class. That's it. And you get a video and you can be live on the screen if it works in your time zone, and you get a video the next day. So it's a passion project for me.
Something I would definitely be interested in.
Yay, come on down.
Definitely. I would love, because being an investigator, I would love to, because you don't know everything and you're learning all the time. And as long as I'm doing it for about 18 years, I still,
every day.
That's it. I mean, someone says, Jenny, what do you do and how do you do it? And I said, well, I just do it my way. This is what I do and how I do it. And we go in with respect, and we're not going into for thrill seeking or anything like that, because I always say not all history is written in books. You've got to find out. We go to the same locations repetitively to make friends with them, to bond with them, for them to get to know us, and vice versa. Like in some amazing locations that we've gone to, and we've gotten some fantastic, I'm not going to say the word breakthrough, but fantastic knowledge of the people in these locations that we would never have known about, ever. Some good and some not great. Right. Not great. I won't say what locations they're in because I have people coming, but it's a learning cove all the time. And I've also been wondering that when you do say spells, good spells and bad spells. And I know, because I've kind of been into it when I was younger, but I never did any of it. But about good spells, so what you give out, you get back.
Yeah, yeah. Because again, you have to live in the world you create. It's not good or evil, but high vibration. Why would I send out hexes and curses? Because I have to live in that world. Send out love, because then you live in the world. You can get everything you want from positive magic. Everything.
Yeah.
That's it.
You
so
know.
I'll put my hexing book away then. Should I?
Yes, you should, because it'll always come. Whatever you send out to the universe will multiply it for you, and bring it back.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. And would you ever, Patti, if you're out and about or you're doing stuff, if you ever got, say, you're out in the public or you're working and you would get a spirit talking to you, would you tell a random person that, do you ever see that on TV? You tell a random person in a store or something like that, XYZ is coming through?
No, because I think ethically, unless they've asked, it's not ethical to me. It's not my lesson. If they ask, yes. If there was some spirit, I have an on-off switch. It's a huge on-off. Go to the grocery store, go shopping, go off. I want to be as psychic as a rock. I don't want to be. We're all empaths. So I don't want to take on that person's angst and that person's headache. I want to go. And if I am somewhere and there's some spirit, I haven't turned it off, going, talk to my daughter, talk to my daughter, talk to my daughter. No, I won't talk to my daughter. And if they really think, the most I would do is saying, okay, you might think I'm crazy, but the spirit of your deceased mother is here and has a message and wants to talk to you. Do you want it? And if they say yes, great. If they say no, no. It is their life, their path, not my business.
Yeah, that's
my philosophy. My integrity, my philosophy. Everybody's going to have their own, but you have to have your code of ethics, what works for you, and you have to have a nice code of ethics to work in a magical world. Otherwise, that's when you get in trouble. If you don't really know right from wrong, moral code, don't have a moral code, don't play in this world.
Yeah.
That's it. You have to switch off and not be working 24/7. This is Liz from Scotland. Hi, I remember Patti on Ghost Adventures, and she was on another guy called Chris. Chris. A long time ago. I can't remember Chris' second name, and he was on with the Scottish lady in America, and I can't even remember the show. But I remember.
Fleming.
Yeah.
Chris Fleming.
I was talking to Chris yesterday on the phone. He's doing well.
Good. I'm so glad.
He's been given the go ahead to do the tour in June.
He has.
His medical team. Yes. So that's good news. I mean, yeah.
He is his dear friend and so sweet.
Yeah, he's doing well. He still has to go in and out and have a few treatments, but he sounds good, and he's telling me what I drinking aloe vera juice, and he was giving me a few. I've been doing this with him for so long. Now he's doing it with me. It's kind of funny. I was talking to him through all of this, and now he's turned around and he's talking me through it. But yeah, it's good news. It's good news.
Good. That makes me so happy. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I guess I work besides Ghost of Portals to Hell with Jack Osborne and Katrina. I work with a lot of YouTubers. I kind of like the top of the line TFIL overnight guys, Gavin Magnus. It's I'm lucky. It's good. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to do all of that. I mean, I know what I do, but I'd like to kind of travel more and even though as much as I love Ireland, but I know the team is hoping to get to the UK later on this year and get a few locations in the UK. I know some great teams in the UK, so we're working on going further afield. And then I know at some stage for a long time we've been planning to go to America. It will happen. I just need to get onto a flight. I just need to get onto a flight. I just need to be able to leave my dogs and then get onto a plane and travel, or just take a gin and tonic and Xanax.
There you go.
We're good to fly then.
On a plane, they do. I just flew back day before yesterday from the UK, so yeah.
We were texting each other while she was flying over to England.
Oh, that's brilliant! Oh my gosh. I did see this thing on August on a video, and I think it was a TikTok, I'm not too sure, where they were building these, or they're thinking of building these planes that, God forbid, if anything happened, the passenger row will eject from the plane. The rest of it will go ahead, but you're covered. You're in a tube, you're covered, and then you have these two huge parachutes kind of things that will bring you down, it will land in water. And I'm like, could you not have done that before? And I have to fly. Now, I will say I did fly on my own at one point, which I thought was something I thought I would never in this lifetime see me doing. And I did. So it was great. I enjoyed it. Would I do it again? Yeah, I actually would.
Good. Yeah.
I'll do it again.
So know about ejecting from a seat at 30,000 feet. You're at 30,000. It's 0 degrees below zero, and you've got 30,000 feet. And then what? You end up in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean?
Yeah. Or some land. I don't know. But, someone said to me, Jen, would you rather fly or be on a boat? And I said, boat. I like a boat. I can swim, but I cannot fly. God forbid if the plane was going down, I can't fly, but I'll take my chances. I can swim. But if they say it's a shark-infested water, I've watched enough videos on sharks. If they come near you, pop them on the nose or punch them in the eye, and they might go away.
He's got it.
Well, the funny thing is, I used to go down to Connemara. Connemara is a certain area in off the west coast of Ireland, Patti, and my ex-husband was from that area, and it was an Irish-speaking area, and all his family were fishermen. And fishermen in Ireland, or at least around the west coast, they have they don't learn how to swim, because they say that if they get into trouble out in the ocean, the shore looks a lot nearer than it actually is, and the tendency would be to try and swim to the shore. And unless you're a very, very strong swimmer, you might get into trouble. So their attitude is grab onto something, grab onto a boat, grab onto something, wait until help comes.
I still don't know how to swim. Kick, swim, hold on. What if your boat sinks?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to go with Jen. Swim and punch him in the nose. Punch him in the nose.
Poke them in the eye or pop them on the nose. I've watched enough videos on sharks. Flying, no, I don't know. I mean, I'll do it again. Of course I'll do it again. I have to do it again. I have to. But it's not a nice journey on the way up to it. It's not a nice journey. And when people say to me, Jen, I'm like 3 hours away from the airport. And I said, I just probably end up turning around in the car and saying, no, I'm not doing it. I'm half an hour from the airport. So I have no choice. By the time I get up there, we're there. I don't have enough time to change my mind and turn around. Plus, we're on the motorway and I can't. so, yeah, I do it. But we are planning to fly this year, hopefully at some point. Locations that you've been to, Patti. What was your the one that frightened you the most, if it did?
Hands down, the Cecil Hotel right here in Los Angeles.
Right.
Hotel. It is so dark, and it affects living, it affects the dead. There's some egregore or something created that's negatively affecting the spirits there, and negatively. Know where I was going. I've probably been there more than anybody. I've done Ghost Adventures there. I've done my Overnight, guys. 2 episodes of Ghost Adventures, 4-part series with Overnight. I did a CW series recently. Walking up to it, every step, you want to die. You want to kill yourself. It's
my gosh.
That's more people have jumped out the windows, thrown out Babel, serial killers, a girl in the wall. Every single room feels like tragedy. When I went there with Ghost Adventure, I didn't know where I was going because I never do. And I'm parking and I'm walking up. A rat didn't even want to let me in. A rat, he was blocking. Usually they'll skittle away with Skid Row. Horrible part of downtown, but he didn't skittle away. He skittled toward me. Go right, go left. I'm like, I have to get in. And by the time I got there, I was so depressed. And there's Zach and the guys. They already had their cameras and equipment strapped on. They're going, okay, Patti, there's 14 floors. There's 700 rooms. They're all unlocked. And where do you want to go? I'm like, I want to die. I mean, I didn't say that. And I got in the elevator. I'm like, oh, this is that elevator with that buttons like that girl had pushed that she was looking who was chasing her.
Yeah, right.
And
Weird about her. It was very strange.
Alyssa Lamb. And I led them right to a room. Yeah. I'm like, I've got to get out of here. And I'm walking to a window and I'm opening the window. I got to get out of here. Zach starts yelling at me. He's like, Patti, close that window. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? And I'm in a trance because I allow myself to go trance state. And I'm like, why is he yelling at me? And my little Zach is out of the 700 rooms, I had led them right to a room. Somebody jumped out that exact window. And here I am opening the window going, I've got to get out of here.
Oh my God.
And so, yeah.
Even from watching the documentary, it's a heavy, I mean, when I watched the documentary, and I know a lot of people have, it's kind of, it's a crazy place. Can I say the word crazy? It's a crazy place.
It's a crazy
and that lady in the elevator, what happened to her was just
tragic. Yeah. She didn't climb herself up there and get it. She couldn't even, no. There had to be.
I don't agree. I agree with that.
And Patti, is there any protection that you can do before you go into a place like that? Or was that particular place just far too strong an entity?
The thing that you do, I mean, it is strong. I do a million kinds of protection. Work within your belief system. If you work with angels, call on your angels. I work with Jesus, call on your Christ-like. I work with stones, tourmaline. And the one thing that a lot of people don't know is close off this portal on the back of your head. We want this one open. We want our third eye open because we want to see and experience. But the one on the back of our head, shut that down. That's why when you pray, you bow your head to let in God, let in spirit. You don't want that open because that's when you'll get possessed and stuff. So I make sure to use protective oils and things to shut. And if you don't have oil, just rub your fingers right where your head and neck go to shut that down. You know, and I work a lot of dragon energy. I work elemental energy. That's just my within who you're going to call when it gets scary. But it does. I've had a couple experiences at the Cecil when I was there. The next time, I thought I was channeling because I allow that because I know what I'm doing and I thought I was chattering. I thought I was talking, just English talking. All they heard was gibberish, and I didn't know that because I'm in a trance. And Corey, one of the guys with my team, they go, "We should play that backwards." They played it backwards.
No, are you kidding me?
Backwards.
Oh my God.
I can't even write my name backwards. I'm so non-dyslexic. If you ask me, Patti, maybe Negri, I'm not so sure. But they played it backwards and it was the weirdest thing. So just set up your intention, your prayer, your chant, your work, however you work with your higher vibrational light beings and things. And again, then know that this is our realm of existence. They only have power over us if we let them. Most people don't know better, so they let them.
Yeah. People don't realize that there is that energy all around the place.
Yeah. Well, that is so true. And I know as some people would say, if you use protection, go on to a location, nothing is going to happen. If you use protection, if you don't use protection, something's going to happen. You know this. And I do carry my protection stones with me. And I have my medals with me. And I have St. Padre Pio with me. And I have St. Archangel Michael stones with me. I have them all with me. And you have to protect yourself. And I have learned throughout the years, because things has happened, to protect yourself. And I never did before because I listened to the others to say, if you take protection with you, if you do a grounding circle or ground yourself, you're not going to get a lot in the night. So I just thought, I'll deal with it if it happens. Well, let me tell you, I'm not doing that again. No, not doing that again. Yeah.
You want this open. You want your sight open. You're going to experience things. But again, it's boundaries. Just like with living people, you have boundaries, what you'll let somebody say or do to you and what you won't let somebody say or do to you.
Right.
Again,
that's my new word for 2025, boundaries. And it's working well so far. It's going well so far. It's kind of working for me. Some people don't like it, but it's working for me.
You have to have boundaries.
Yeah, I didn't before, and so I now teach because I didn't understand it before. Well, I understand it now, And so today's word today, children, is boundaries. Use them. And not everyone will love them, but it will serve you right. It will serve you right. We all have to learn. And I did. And it's a good thing. I like it. I do love it. Any places that you've been to that, no, first of all, when they play the recording backwards, did it make sense?
Yeah. It was a spirit wanting to get out of there or something like that. I was channeling. I knew because, again, it's been a place of drug abuse and alcohol and drifter. So that's going to bring in a dark energy. All people bring in a dark energy. So it was like a tweaker, kind of like probably a drug or alcohol person. I got to get out of here. So it made complete sense. But I think the other darkest place is the Black Dahlia house, also here in Los Angeles. I travel the world, but the scary is here. The Black Dahlia, that famous murder from the 40s or 50s, the Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
Got a really dark spirit.
I do. There was a movie out with that, wasn't there? There was a movie out.
My friend wrote it. Yeah.
I do when I go over to them, and I kind of, yes, I will be honest. People say, Jenny, you're an investigator, and you're afraid. And I said, well, I've heard, I've seen, and I've felt. So I kind of, it takes you by surprise when you're touched. It takes you by surprise. And what, you've been touched, Patti, you've been touched. So, you're touched, but it feels completely strange.
Yeah. I've been at that house. I've been thrown into a wall. Oh, God. Very cranky thing. I've been at another house also in Los Angeles, actually in my Hollywood Hills neighborhood, doing a seance. Somebody got disrespectful. My one rule is be skeptical, be funny, be all sorts of things, but you have to be respectful. Right. Nobody wants to be disrespected. One of this young kid got disrespectful. I was in a famous house built by Charlie Chaplin. The Rolling Stones lived there, Mums and Papas, Marilyn Manson. My neighbor was there, and literally somebody got disrespectful and somebody burst into flames. We've got it on video. Spontaneous combustion, like the movie Spinal Tap, the scariest thing ever. I was like, this doesn't happen on my watch. But it did.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's just when for some reason I saw Willow's face there. Do you ever encounter spirits of animals?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. Always. My seances, which again, one of the things I'm known for, the first beings, it's like, who's got the 3-legged German Shepherd with the purple collar? You guys feel something under the table all of a sudden? It got cold. That is a cattail walking by you. Right. I remember, and in old abandoned buildings, there's a lot of cat spirits as a rule, because probably a lot of cats, feral cats and wild cats live there and pass on, and they hang out.
Yeah, that's it. I love it. I have my dog's ashes. I wear my dog's ashes. He passed only last year, and oh gosh, we've heard dogs barking on audio, and because I work with animals, I could tell you what breed is barking. What breed? The German Shepherd. That's a terrier, and of course there'd be places where it was in my hometown where there's a British Army fort that had took over the place here in Drogheda. And so you'll hear that deep bark of a German Shepherd. I know the breed and the little terrier as well, but it's fantastic. But that's the one place that I ever, I want to have all of my animals, and by God, I've had a lot of them, but I want them. I want to see them.
And I think living animals can see deceased animals too. Pay attention to your cat, to your dog. Yeah. And if you're looking at something you don't see, they probably do see something. And I think sometimes former pets will teach the new pets, lay here and don't lay here. And this is a nice spot in the sun,
Yeah. I have all my pets cremated in my living room. So that's probably why I'm single. Jenny, what's on all those boxes? They're on my beds. But I couldn't. There's a thing that I can't bury them. I have to have them cremated. So because then they're with me, and they'll be off. They will be in my will too. What are we going to do with them, Jenny? You put them in with me. You put them in. There's 9 so far. You put them all in with me. Because people just don't respect them. So take them with me, or just take them out of the boxes and just kind of throw their ashes in on top of me. These would be like, reading Jenny's will. She wants what? She wants to do what?
No, I've got 3 babies buried in my backyard, and my last puppy sitting in the guest room in a cute little box with a photo. Yeah.
I know. I love that. I love that. And that's what I want. And I know, I don't know what part of America it's in, the Rainbow Bridge that had been destroyed. Had been destroyed. I think it was in the hurricane or the floods. Do you know the Rainbow Bridge where people, they hang that dog collars on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that has been destroyed. So they're trying to rebuild it. Right. So I know a friend of mine, Mary, in America, was printing out everybody's dogs and so on, and printing out my own dog, Zach, who passed away last year. And I wanted to send my collar over, but I couldn't let it go. So, and I said, never again. I can't do it again. My heart, it breaks me. It takes me to a different place. But no, Jenny has 5 dogs and 3 cats, Let's do it again, Jenny. I'll never do it again. And I have all of them. I know you probably do, but attachments. Where not where do they come from? Why do they attach themselves to you? Especially if it's not family, why would they attach themselves to you?
Well, there, as many as there are attachments are different reasons. Again, if it's a low vibrational attachment, often, again, addiction issues, too much drugs and alcohols will always open doors for that. Not on purpose, but it's just because you're opening up a door for that. Too much dark, low vibration stuff can open up attachments to things. They'll find a weak spot, just like with anything, just like with illness, and then it can cause illness. So you have to be really careful, because they're not, you just have to get aware of them so you can clear them. It's not that, does not have to be hard to clear, but you have to know it's there before it takes over your life.
Right. And are there any good ones that just kind of look out for you? No, you're grand. Are there any attachments that would look after you? Could it be family or friends? I know that there is a male always with me. I have no idea who he is.
Well, I don't call those attachments. I call them, they might be like spirit guides or guardian angels or guardian family members, or I use the word attachment differently, but
I worded it wrong.
Of course, the energetics are, essences of. I think part of reincarnation is like that. Essences of the attributes of this, essences of. So that could sort of be called an attachment, but I just use different words. Words are just words.
That's it, because I have no idea who he is, but I have him on audio. I remember watching the show. I was doing a show one night in America, it was in New Orleans, and I think about 2 or 3 in the morning. And I played this a few nights ago, and I played it for my team members that have never seen or heard it before. So you see me on video, and we're talking away, and we're having a conversation that has nothing to do with paranormal. And you will hear static coming through the microphone. You'll hear it coming through. I didn't hear it on the night. I didn't hear the static, but I heard the voice. And so you'll see my voice, we were laughing, we were talking, and then you'll see my face going smiling. Then I'm like, and I'm like thinking like the whole panel didn't hear it. And I was about to say to them, did you hear my name? Did nobody hear my name? And it was my name. It was like, Jenny. But you can hear the breath going, you can hear the static coming through, that static breakthrough.
Yep.
And then I knew because I listened back to when I heard my name, and I heard it, DVP, I've heard it. And no one else heard it, and it came from here, and it was like, and they can hear the breath going, and then it goes, Jenny, a man, the same man, don't know who he is. I know going to locations for the first time in that particular location, and then I listen back to audio, and then you hear Jenny.
Right. The equipment is getting so great now. That's what I like. I'm not a big tech person because I'm just not that technical, but it's nice now for we could get it. All the work Ron Betty is doing, and with these talking boxes and stuff. And I've got my friend of mine, Dan Coda, or like SLS cameras. It's like for years I'd be going, well, there's a ghost doing jumping jacks on the corner of the table. You believe me or you don't believe me.
Right.
Now there's somebody in a different room who can't hear or see me, and they've got a little green stick figure of a ghost doing jumping jacks on the corner of the table. It's like, yes. But yeah, I would not call that attachment. It might be somebody who follows you around, but if it's attached to you, it's going to affect you.
All
not
right.
necessarily hear it. And you might have just, because you could hear things with our outside ears that everybody hears, or with your inside ears, only you're going to hear it. You see things with your outside eyes or your third eye. And
I do.
One.
Yeah. I do. And I'm beginning to hear, and I know, Barry, I'm going to put my foot up my brother's arse. Barry, my brother Barry said, my sister's used to seeing spirits, though, usually in a glass.
Guys, I'm sorry, I have to go. I have another call on. Is that okay?
Oh, yes, May. Thank you.
We'll catch up, Patty, and we'll have a coffee morning.
Yes, it'll sound perfect. See you soon.
Guys, everybody,
bye.
I enjoyed it. Bye.
May, thanks for coming on. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye, my love.
Bye.
That's my brother Barry. He's such a mess. He's a little bit crazy. Sorry, Barry. But yes, I know I used the word attachment wrong because I got not mixed up, but I said the wrong word.
Again, words are words are words. That's
and I just don't know who it is and why. I know a lot of people think they know who it is, and it's kind of a person that I don't want it to be.
Okay, then tell them to go away.
I have done many times, or they want forgiveness before they can move on, and so on and so on. And I'm not going to pretend to forgive, and because I'd be lying to myself, and I wouldn't be true. So I'm not there to do any of that. So I don't know. Haven't heard anything from him for a long time. So
maybe don't feed it. I mean, don't feed the energy of it. Talk about it, because then again, that is energy to keep it going.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you don't want to do anything you don't want to do, this or that or whatever that is. But I still firmly believe that this is your realm of existence.
That's it.
Or they don't have to be there 99% of the time.
I know it's a bit that I'm so used to him.
That's it.
I know I'm so used to him. And I'm an Irish mama bear, so, don't frighten me. And my dogs acted strange one night. They slept in the frame doorway of my daughter's bedroom. And I had two large breeds, a Collie German Shepherd mix and an Akita Newfoundland mix. So they were quite big dogs. And they always slept in my room on the floor. And then they slept in my daughter's the frame of the bedroom door. Don't know why. I think I got annoyed one night and just said, not today. We're not doing it today. We're not doing it today.
That's the threshold, which means it's a liminal space between. So they're going to go there. It's a threshold, liminal space. Not here, not there.
I'm just seeing, I don't know if anyone's seen this. I thought I seen something, not behind you, but something kind of.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
That happens all the time. I've got my doll Belle right there. My new doll that Cheryl. I've got my girl. I've got a new doll book on haunted dolls coming out from Llewellyn. Usually people see them moving, winking, smiling at people, but a lot of orb action is around.
I see, and I've just noted down the time to go back and have a look at it. I have noticed it there, but yeah, it got my attention. And there's a question here now from Pamela, and I'll ask that in 1 second. What do you think? Now, so many people think orbs are dust, weather.
They can be, but they're not necessarily. You blow them up and you see faces. It's energy. Right. Everything is energy. We are energy, nothing solid. 7th grade science. We are moving atoms, and that is spirit into orb. I have one photo of me somewhere. I was doing a clearing or something, and I was sitting on a sofa, and I called in the spirits, and you literally saw them coming down a stairwell and in and circling my head. It was beautiful. And like dust can't do that,
No, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. We have not a message now. We have a mail here from Pamela. How did you discover that you worked well with the energies that worked for you? Did you have a special mentors or teachers?
I've had many special mentors and teachers. including just life itself. And I've studied religion, philosophy, science, occult science, metaphysics, spirituality in every form. But George Derby, he was a very beautiful magician. He was one of my first teachers, Griffin Kett. Again, that's why I started my school. I think I never want to stop learning. The more I know that I know, the more I know that I don't know. And that's why I started my podcast, because I have different experts from all over the world in all sorts of things, guests on everything. I think it's whatever template. I knew that I was very elemental in my work, which is why I went the pagan path. I studied philosophy, and Eastern philosophy wasn't that right, and this didn't work. But it's like I've been communicating with trees and spirits and animals forever. So, let this template work with me, how I could work with nature, spirits, and things. So I would seek out teachers that work in that realm. But I will go to any teacher anywhere, because even if that's not, okay, this doesn't work for me, but this part of it does. This, I understand that philosophy, because again, like I keep saying, words are words. They might use a different name, but the universal truth inside of things is the same.
That's the one. That's it. There was one question. Thank you very much, Pamela, for your question. Thank you so much.
I answered it, but yay. Lots of beautiful teachers.
That's what I love. I find now I always say, like, the longer I'm in this field, the more I'm opening up myself. I will get names in my mind. When on location, I'll get a name in my mind and I'll say the name out. And sometimes it's right and sometimes it's not. Most of it is right. And it's just me opening up myself, allowing it to happen. But I do have in my mind, I do say in my chest and in my mind, today's not the day. Today, when I'm on location, today is not the day. Let's not do it. If I feel a little bit anxious of walking into a location and I feel something's not right or something's off, and I'm just like, not today. Not today. We're not doing it today. I'm like the Irish version of it. We're not doing it today. We're not doing it today. And sometimes they do listen, but I get names or I hear stuff. Like my daughter has heard a female voice in one of the locations that I do here in Drogheda. We were in a location, myself and my friend were setting up decorations, and my daughter was in the room, and I was saying to my friend, if only she knew. I think she was about 16 at the time, 17. And I said, if only she knew. So I said, come on, Jess, we're leaving now. And she looked at me and I looked at her and I said, did you? And she goes, Mom, I heard a woman. I said, I did too. And I was delighted and I was thrilled that she heard. I loved it that she could hear it. She wasn't afraid, but I don't think she'd kind of do what I would do. Yeah. She kind of like, she knows there's somebody in the house and whatnot, but I tell her, it's okay. It's okay. Not really. It's okay. So I don't like to kind of frighten them too much.
No, and it doesn't need to be scary. I think when this 90% of the brain we don't use, I think we're all born with the gift. I think we have that intuition, whatever you want to call it, but it just gets taught out of us in our Western, modern, non-mystical society where the magic is taken away and all the focus is on left brain logic, and the intuition, art, spiritual side has just been shoved under for logic. It gets taught out of most of us. Luckily, it just didn't get taught out of me, because my mom always go, yeah, grandma did that too. Grandma could see that too. Grandma could
right.
So it didn't, and it was never, that's evil or that's of a devil of some kind.
Right.
So it was, nurtured.
I love that it was kept with you. And like there was a little boy that I knew, and it was a friend of mine, his nephew or cousin, something like that. And he wasn't around when his grandfather was around, but he knew everything about him. But my friend adopted my dog. I moved into a smaller house, so I had a collie, and he adopted my dog. And I seen my dog all the time because we stayed friends and so on and whatnot. And this dog wanted to eat this child. He wasn't having it. And if I didn't see it, I don't think I would have believed it as much as I did until I saw it. Like he always wanted to get him and get him bad. Like he was fabulous with everybody, loved everybody, but it was this boy that he wanted. I know when the boy was leaving one day and he said, bye, Jenny, see you in heaven. And I'm like, what did you say? What did you say? And it kind of took me off guard a little bit, which was fine. I'm rather he said that than anywhere else. But this collie just wanted him. And I was sitting in the kitchen one day, and there was conservatory doors, and I seen my dog, a beautiful big collie, banging his teeth off the glass to get to this boy.
Wow.
Like, he wanted him. There was spit on the glass. He wanted this boy. He wanted him. Like, there was like 10 of us in the kitchen, but he wanted this boy. Now, one day, unfortunately, he got out of the kitchen and beelined for him and him only. Went 3 legs just to get him and nipped him. Something else behind you again there. Literally something behind you. Literally, I just seen it there, and I'm writing down the time so I can know to look back on it. And but he did break the skin on the back of his leg. He broke the skin on the back of his leg.
Oh.
So we don't know why. We don't know why.
Past life, something energetic, something.
No,
something.
He wanted this boy so bad, and I seen it. I witnessed it, and it stayed with me to this day. What was it? What was it? Now the young boy doesn't remember anything. He doesn't remember anything, even regarding of saying no. His what his granddad liked and seeing you and having Jenny and so on and so on, but he doesn't remember any of that. So I want to dissect his brain and find out. I want to know with my dog, what did you see that we did not see?
Right.
I want to know.
Dogs and cats. It doesn't get taught out of the dogs and cats and animals in general. It gets taught out of modern Western society, but it doesn't get taught out of them. And there was, who's to know? It could have been a million things.
That's it. And I think my dogs are broken. I think they're all broken. I do. I think they're all
broken.
I think they're all they're all spoiled.
Well, they should be spoiled. I think they should all be spoiled. Mine are spoiled. My dog and my cat are very spoiled.
I preach, but I don't practice. So my dogs and my cats are all very, very spoiled. Is there any location that you haven't been to that you would really want to go to?
Well, I still want to go to Hillsdale House. My friend Daniel Klass owns it, and I have for some reason. He's a friend. We work together with the Ghost Finders, but it just hasn't worked out. I want to go there. Plus, I want to get back over the pond again because I live West Coast. We don't have anything really old here. So if we want old, the oldest thing, because it's new, Wild West, the oldest things we have would be the old mining and cowboy towns. So you Virginia City or Nevada City or Vulture City, Arizona, or Butte, Montana, because maybe they're not even 200 years old. Back east America, you can get to older things, 1506, but where you guys live, you can get to ancient castles and things. So I think the places I really want to get, I want to go back further. I've been to Greece once, but I want to get to Turkey. Nice. I want to get to some really ancient sites.
That I know in Ireland, when I'm doing investigations, like, Jen's in Redwood Castle, or Jenny and the team are in Lep Castle, or John's Castle. And, and it's kind of like, to this point now, it's kind of like, I'm kind of, every weekend is a castle. And everyone's like, oh God, you're so lucky. And I'm like, oh Jesus, it's like.
You are.
all the time. We were in a castle a few months ago and back to Lep Castle, which have you been to Lep Castle?
I don't remember. I have to ask May. It all runs together. I'm so bad with names and things. We have to ask May. But she took me to the most amazing and the most amazing sites and magical sites and doing rituals and stones. Oh, it was great. I've
seen the video of you at Pat Noon's farm.
Yeah. Oh, the fairy farm. Oh,
yeah.
That was truly one of the highlights for me. Just
fabulous. We're going, I think, this year, July and September.
Nice.
July and September, so we'll be going there. I know in Lep Castle with Sean Ryan, he's the musician, so he owns it. Roger Brown would love to do castles, and most of the castles that I go to, I'll do lives from. I will be doing live from Lep Castle on the 28th of March. Nice. I will be doing that, and then Wicklow Jail and so on and so on. My favorite place to investigate would be prisons.
I do a lot of prisons. I've done a lot through the Midwest, the US and things, and they're great. And again, there's so much big personalities in life are big in death, whether you're a criminal or you're a murderer, this or that.
Right.
If you're haunting an old bank and Bob the Quiet Banker, you're going to get Bob the Quiet Ghost. If you're at some prison or insane asylum or all this where they're good or bad, big personality people, you're going to get that.
That's it. I know in Alcatraz is a place that I'd love to do. I'd love to do Alcatraz. I know in Sligo, in the Clayton Hotel, used to be a former asylum hospital. So I stayed there for the weekend. I did not sleep at all. I didn't. My room was way too big. And it was like a room into a room. To get out of my room, I was like, oh my God. So I had a chair up against the door in case I had to leave the room for whatever reason. And one of my team members who was down the hall and around the corner, I'd have him sit on the chair until I fell asleep. It was one of those places and then I'd walk around the grounds about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Another quick question here from Pamela. Do you find connecting with spirits different in older sites like castles?
They're different. They're very different. Because they're going to have the way of being of that time. And again, especially when if I'm in France and I don't speak French, it's like, oh, good Lord, I'm going to butcher this language. But, if you're from old stable boy from the year 1200 in a castle, they're going to be different. Or if you're like what I was talking about on West Coast and you're in a cowboy town, there were rough and gruff cowboys and rough and gruff girls worked and people are going to be like the people who were at those locations and castles, if it's elegant or the servants or that's
I know this fantastic history in Leap and Redwood Castle. I love them. And a few of I didn't even know there was a castle 10 minutes away from me. Like, how did I not know there was a castle 10 minutes away from me until last year? What? And it is like, come on, it's like 10, 12 minutes out the road from me. Newgrange is about 12. I know Newgrange is right beside me. And I'm from a town called Drogheda and the Battle of the Boyne. And so it's a very historical town in Ireland, very historical. Newgrange and Mellifont Abbey and so many, but I did not know there was a castle beside us. A castle tower. And it's fabulous inside. It's beautiful inside. But that's it. We are going to wrap up and say goodbye. Very quick hi to Adam there. Adam, thank you so much. We're about to leave now, Adam. I know. I have to let you know when we're back on. Patti, thank you. I know you've been traveling. You've been in fabulous UK and you've been traveling, flying, and it's just kind of, and that's a lot that's happening over in LA right now. And just to get those slippers, get the pajamas and slippers on, as we say here in Ireland, and just decompress.
Yeah, decompress. That's it. We got to decompress. But thank you for having me on. This was really fun. Thank you, everybody, for watching, for listening,
for commenting, like it and share it. We'll be back on next week with something completely different. Completely different. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. Patti, I want to say, I know you've been busy and you have taken time out to sit and talk with myself and May tonight. So I want to say thank you.
Thank you. People like me on social media. I cannot answer you on Facebook. Patti.Negri on Instagram, Patti Negri on TikTok, Patti Negri Psychic Medium on Facebook. But I've been hacked, so I can't go on Facebook, but I can post there, but I can't answer Messenger, but I can on Instagram. My website will get you to all my legitimate places. Again,
I'll put all those links up. I will put all of those links up. I'm going to hit the comments very quick. Good night, everyone. Good night, Roger. Good night, Liz. Good night, Pamela. Thank you so much for being here, Pamela. And I love when Pamela gets the beginning of the show, because I know when she comes, watches all of my shows and she gets in 5 minutes before we're gone, but I'm delighted she was here. Good night, Liz. Good night, everyone who is watching, and Chantel and Nigel and so on. I do not want to miss any names out. Kimmy, my darling, I will talk to you later on. I'm going to bring us in the background, Patti. Thank you so much. I'll put all your links up after the show.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night. Thank you so much, Patti. Good night.